Mhm. All right, good morning. I am the Pit Messiah, your host for the Quiet Storm live trading session for July the 15th, 2025. As always, we do have a little bit of pre market action to go over. But before we do, I'm going to explain what it is that we're doing and what we're looking for. Then we'll dive into getting caught up for the morning and then fall into a 15-minute pacing of possible opportunities to get into the market on a buy or sell basis. So what you're looking at now is the 5-minute time frame on Bitcoin versus Tether, BTC USDT. The colored lines that you see on the chart are exponential moving averages. An exponential moving average is a graphical representation of the average of the last number of a certain number of candles. In this particular case, we have the yellow line, which is the 5 exponential moving average, and the red line, which is the 13 exponential moving average. When you're looking at a chart on any time frame, if the red line, the 13 exponential moving average, is over the yellow line, the 5 exponential moving average, then then the sellers are in control of the market on that particular asset on that particular time frame. Then the other three lines are the aqua line, which is the 50 exponential moving average, the gray line, which is the 200 exponential moving average, and the blue line, which is the 800 exponential moving average. What you're looking for is for those three lines to be in a certain order. If the blue line is on the top, that's the 800 exponential moving average. The gray line is in the middle, that's the 200 exponential moving average. And the 50 exponential moving average is on the bottom, that's the aqua line, BGA. That means that you're in a downtrend on that asset on that particular time frame. Conversely, if the aqua line is on the top, the 50 exponential moving average, the gray line is in the middle, the 200 exponential moving average, and the blue line is on the bottom, the 800 exponential moving average, aqua, gray, blue, then you're in an uptrend. Any other combination of these lines means that you're in consolidation. So just a very quick analysis of Bitcoin versus Tether on the 5-minute. The sellers are currently in control of the market, but the asset is in consolidation. The market only moves in three ways: up, down, or sideways. Consolidation means that the price action is moving sideways. So what you do is from current price, you just look to the left. And what do you see? You see that we have gray, blue, aqua, and price has basically been moving sideways. This is not when you want to enter the market. You want to enter the market when you have clear direction, an uptrend or downtrend, and preferably when you know whether or not the buyers or sellers are in the market in the direction of your trend, and price action is either below the exponential moving averages or above the exponential moving averages. Why is that the case? Because the aqua, the gray, and the blue line serve as major areas of support and resistance. So you want the tailwind behind you. So the reason why I'm looking at the lower time frames on Bitcoin is I'm trying to see over time whether or not the trend is with us. That being said, let's go ahead and get caught up for the night. First, we're going to run through our list and see whether or not we've hit any take profits. And the answer is no, albeit some things may be close. For instance, we have a trade on NASDAQ 100 that's been open for a while. We've got a ways to go before take profit, but we're closer. Sometime after that, we took a trade on S&P 500. Kind of the same pattern. And we've been in a trade on France 40 for quite some time. It still has some ways to go. Let's get to our pre-market trades. At 8:50 yesterday, I called out a trade on US 30. That hit take profit on us, so that trade is already done. But had we taken that trade, we certainly would have made profit. We have XLM, Monero versus USDT, called out at midnight. We have the aqua on the top, the gray in the middle, the blue on the bottom. Now we need to make a call whether this is a smart trade to get into. Now, if you drill down and you look really carefully at the chart, what you see is that price is below the 50 exponential moving average and below the 200 exponential moving average. That means that we have to break through those two major areas of resistance to take profit on this buy order. So this is not a trade that we would enter. So even though the trend is showing an uptrend, you look at it over a longer period of time, recent price action shows that price is declining. A lot has been driven by a nearly 2,800 point loss today on Bitcoin, falling from its all-time high. So we will not be taking this particular trade. Next, we have AAVE versus Tether. We're actually too late to enter this trade. It's about a little less than 50% on its way to take profit. But that trade will definitely hit take profit eventually. We have another call on XMR versus Tether. Again, we just explained why we would not take this position. We have XMR versus the US dollar. It's mirroring the same thing that we're seeing on XMR versus USDT. You have two major areas of resistance above price. Won't be taking that trade. It recalled AAVE on the 30-minute confirmation. In this particular case, it's a different story altogether. We have aqua gray blue confirming the uptrend. We have buyers in control of the market. And price is on top of the exponential moving averages. In this case, we would take this particular trade. So our first trade of the night is going to be a buy on AAVE USDT to $339.67. What the heck is going on? Hold on 1 second. Okay, it's fine. So we have a long position to 339.67. Let's go ahead and grab the parameters for this. Hold on, looks like I missed the parameters for another trade from earlier. So I need to fix that. Down 46, 4.1, 91.38, 236, and 93.74. All right, so let's go back to AAVE. That. All right, so this is AAVE versus Tether, AAVE USDT. It's a 30-minute confirmation. Market execution buy. The risk to reward ratio is going to be 3.58. Take profit is going to be $339.67 for 2,422 pips. Stop loss is going to be $308.69. And that's going to be for 667 pips. 676 pips. Entry price is $315.45. 315.45. Good morning, Team Money. And here's your first call of the night. AAVE USDT. A 30-minute confirmation. Market execution buy. Entry price is $315.45. Stop loss is $308.69 for 676 pips. Take profit is $339.67 for 2,422 pips, and a risk to reward ratio of 3.58. Again, that's AAVE USDT. We have one more, which is FLM USDT. We won't be taking this trade. Why? Because we have gray on the top, blue in the middle, and aqua on the bottom. That is consolidation. So we don't want to take that particular trade. It's now 2:15 in the morning. We've got 4 more opportunities that just popped. Go ahead and take a look at these. We have the euro versus the US dollar. We have blue on the top, gray in the middle, and aqua on the bottom. Price below the exponential moving averages. We will be taking that. All right, so we have a, oops, darn it. Short position at current price. We have 1.16492. Go ahead and capture this. Get this called out. All right, this case is going to be a 15-minute confirmation. Market execution sell. This time it's euro versus USD, EUR, USD. It's going to be a 3.34 risk to reward ratio. Take profit at 1.16492. That's going to be for 25 pips. Stop loss is going to be at 1.16822. It's going to be for 8 pips. Entry price is going to be 1.16746. Here's your next call of the night. It's the euro versus the United States dollar. 15-minute confirmation. Market execution sell. Entry price is 1.16746. Stop loss is 1.16822 for 8 pips. Take profit is 1.16492 for 25 pips, and a risk to reward ratio of 3.34. Go ahead and get this entered myself because I am certainly entering that. It's 1.16492. Next up, we have the euro versus the Hong Kong dollar. And we have blue, gray, aqua. Prices between the 50 and 200 EMA. We really need price to be below the 50 EMA before we take this particular trade. It's not there. So we won't be taking this particular trade. We have the United States dollar versus the Danish krona. We have aqua gray blue, which is an uptrend, but prices below the 50 EMA and above the 200 EMA. We will not be taking this particular trade zone. And we have the United States dollar versus the Czech dollar. We have aqua gray blue, which is an uptrend. Price is above the EMAs. We will be taking this particular trade. This is going to be a long position from current price to 21.20095. 21.2095. That's going to be USD CZK. This is going to be a 15-minute confirmation market execution buy. It gave us a little bit of a better price, so let's go ahead and take those extra pips. 21.2095. Which brings our risk to reward ratio to 4.02. Target's going to be 21.20095. That's going to be for 780 pips. Stop loss. Oh, it still gave us a better price. Okay. So for 3.90, this is now going to be for 815 pips. We have a stop loss of 21.09860. This is going to be for 209 pips. And we have an entry price at 21.11947. And here's your next call of the night. United States dollar versus Czech dollar. 15-minute confirmation. Market execution buy. Entry price is 21.11947. Stop loss is 21.09860 for 209 pips. Take profit is 21.20095 for 815 pips with a risk to reward ratio of 3.90. And with that, we are caught up for the morning. Next time frame is going to be at 2:30, which is a little less than 8 minutes from now. Let's go ahead and get our listings fixed up by category. And we'll go from there. I don't know if we'll get NASDAQ 100 and S&P 500 on stream tonight, but it is a possibility. We'll certainly keep an eye out on those two trades. Right, so while we have a little bit of a lull, let's check under some news. All right. Got major news most of the day. At the opening bell of the New York Stock Exchange at 7:30 a.m. this morning, we have a triple set of major news on the Canadian dollar, month-over-month consumer price index, medium consumer price index for year-over-year, and trimmed consumer price index year-over-year. We also have triple major news dropping on the US dollar, core CPI month-over-month, consumer price index month-over-month, and consumer price index year-over-year. That's going to be a lot of juicy movement the moment the opening bell hits. So opportunities may be a little flat for the London session this morning, but once that New York money starts flowing into the market after this major news is passed, Things are going to be flying. And then at 3 p.m., a little bit before the closing bell of the New York Stock Exchange, we have comments by the governor of the Bank of England. So that's going to be interesting, leading the release of consumer price index year over year for the Great British pound 1 hour before the opening bell of the London session tomorrow. So decent amount of news. Let's check futures. And we have positive movement on the US 30, the S&P 500, and the NASDAQ 100, which bodes well because we are currently in buys on the NASDAQ 100 and the S&P 500. It generally is a good indication that right after the opening bell of New York, you're going to have a nice rally. So I do expect to take profit on both of those indices trades this morning. It is also what people are calling crypto week in the U.S. Congress. There are three major bills being considered by the House of Representatives and the Senate this week concerning cryptocurrency. The first time in U.S. history where we actually have what would be considered to be major legislation being considered by the Congress. This is one of the reasons for the run up recently of Bitcoin to an all time high, just over $122,000 per coin. And I do believe if we actually get these things passed through the House and the Senate and they're signed by President Trump, that's going to trigger a short term rally on cryptocurrencies. Um, and hopefully, it really does hit some profit multiplication with altcoins. Um, I believe the index on altcoins is only up 31% for the year, which is pretty low. You definitely want that thing in triple digits. So we'll see whether or not we get some action on that this week. Not quite sure how fast they'll move. It'll be interesting to see what they end up doing. I do expect passage of at least one of those three bills sometime before the end of the month. So with that being said, we are waiting a little bit more for our next time frame. It's gonna be at 2:30. So less than 2 minutes from now. The trading platform that we're using is TradingView, by far and large the finest platform in the world. It's going to take about 2 to 3 minutes for TradingView to go through evaluating all of the assets we have for the possibility of trade on a buy or sell basis. I believe there's around 414 different assets that I have alerts on, covering a number of different assets. Give you an idea of where we're at. Since May the 2nd, 2025, which is when I started trading for the year, we're at 592 wins versus 534 losses, a win percentage of 52.1%, and pips won 1,794,184. I do use a color coded system for calling trades. Green trades being your major and minor Forex currency pairs. Yellow trades being your exotic foreign currency pairs. Blue trades being spot cryptocurrency protocols versus the US dollar. Red trades being indices, precious metals, oil, and natural gas. Mutual trades being cryptocurrencies versus Tether, USDT, and futures. It does look like we have a deluge of action. So let's get back to TradingView take a look at these 10 opportunities that we have. The very first is going to be Ethereum versus the US dollar. Ethereum versus the US dollar. We have aqua, gray, blue. Prices below the 50 EMA and above the 200 EMA. We're not going to take this particular position. I expect price to continue to decline a little further before that opportunity becomes a little meatier for us. On a 30-minute confirmation, we have a call on Ethereum versus USDT. Same setup. We have aqua gray blue, which is an uptrend, but price is below the 50 exponential moving average and above the 200 exponential moving average. I believe the price will continue to further decline. We have F5 versus Tether, but we have gray, aqua, blue. That's a consolidation. You can see that from current price. If you look back to about 130 yesterday, so won't be. We have comp versus the US dollar, USDT. We have gray, aqua, blue. Again, consolidation. Price is moving sideways. You have major areas of resistance above the price. We won't protect. We have peanut versus tether. We have aqua, gray, blue. Price is currently above the exponential moving averages. We will be taking this particular trade. That's a little too close for me for those EMAs. That's not strong enough support for me. We won't be taking that particular trade. We have sand versus tether. In this case, we have gray, aqua, blue. That's a consolidation. Price is moving sideways. We won't take in that particular trade. We have dust versus tether. We have aqua, gray, blue, but price is below the aqua and the gray. Those serve as major areas of resistance. We won't be taking that particular trade. We have an engine versus USDT. We have gray, aqua, blue. That's consolidation. We won't be taking that particular trade. We have XAI versus USDT. We have aqua, gray, blue. The price below the aqua and the gray line. These are major areas of resistance. We won't be taking that particular trade. We have AXS versus Tether. Aqua, gray, blue, which is an uptrend. But again, price is below the 50 and the 200 exponential moving average, serving as major areas of resistance. We won't be taking that particular trade. Now, the United States dollar versus the Swedish krona, it broke stop loss. So that trade has now been invalidated. Irritated. We're going to have to recall Euro versus USD. That bad boy already ran at the stop loss on a very tight stop to 8 pips. So we're going to go ahead and recall this one back out to 1.16492. I'm going to set some extra room here. Not particularly worried about that one because, hey, a tight stop is a tight stop, especially during the London session. So we hit stop loss on that one. We're going to recall. Let's get rid of the prior signal. And get some new parameters here. This is going to remain a market execution sell on the 15-minute. The risk reward ratio increases to 3.95. Stop loss take profit remains the same at 1.16492, but this time it's going to be for 39 pips. Stop loss goes to 1.16892. And that's now going to be for 10 pips. And entry price is 1.16883. And here's your recall on euro versus the United States dollar. 15-minute confirmation. Market execution sell. Entry price is 1.16883. Stop loss is 1.16892 for 10 pips. Take profit is 1.16492 for 39 pips. And a risk to reward ratio of 3.95. We have a hit stop loss on euro versus Hong Kong dollar. We did not take that position. And we have stop loss on euro versus the Czech dollar, US dollar versus Czech dollar. We're going to recall that one from current price to take profit 21.2095. Let's go ahead and get rid of that original signal and get the new parameters out. Okay. Just going to hit stop loss and a recall. All right, this is again a 15-minute confirmation of the United States dollar versus Czech dollar on a market execution buy. This time, risk to reward ratio is going to be 3.53 to 21.2095 for 1,012 pips. Stop loss is 21.07109. That's now going to be for 287 pips. And entry price is going to be 21.09975. Let's record those two stop losses. And those are in the books. Next time frame is going to be at 2:45, which is a little over 5 minutes left to go. In the meantime, we're going to get back to watching Bitcoin, which is now 3,000 points down for the day. We have the cross of the 800 and the 200 EMA. It's now a confirmed downtrend on the 5-minute. So now we'll look at it on the 15-minute with price heading for 115,370 as price continues to decline. Not quite sure how much Bitcoin may lose today, but it could get messy. Remember, this is falling from 123,000 and change. So a 7,000 point difference within the past 48 hours. This has been quite the roller coaster. From 123 to 18. I got about 3 minutes left to go. Be right back. Testing, testing. Huh. Dang, mic has been off for an extended period of time. I just noticed that. That might be why the live has been not so live tonight. At any rate, got a few minutes left to go before 3:30 in the morning. Just waiting on some additional opportunities to enter the market on a buy or sell basis. About 45 seconds. "3:30 in the morning again, super quiet. Don't expect much action at all. More waiting. About 9 minutes left to go to 3:45 in the morning. Just not much movement in the market at all. All right, a little 5 minutes left to go. Just over 2 minutes left to go to 3:45 in the morning. For it being so slow trade wise, at least the time has passed by relatively quickly. Can't be upset at that. All right, about a minute left to go. All right. And nada. So I don't expect anything at 4 a.m. either, but we'll go ahead and wait till then. 15 minutes left to go. Minutes left to go. All right, we'll go ahead and shut this one down early because I just don't see anything happening. Again, I am the Pit Messiah, your host for the Quiet Storm live trading session for July the 15th, 2025. If you have found value in the stream, I do encourage you to follow the channel, hit the like button on the video, and turn on notifications to keep abreast of when I do go live in the market. The Quiet Storm is held every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 2 a.m. Central Standard Time. We do have a number of major news items today. 3 items on consumer price index for the Canadian dollar, and 3 items on consumer price index for the US dollar at 7:30 a.m. Central Standard Time today. That's the opening bell of the New York Stock Exchange. And then at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, we have commentary by the governor of the Bank of England ahead of CPI announcements on the Great British Pound Sterling at 1 a.m. tomorrow morning. So with that, we're going to go ahead and end the live a little early. I can't imagine a scenario where we're actually going to have signals at 4 o'clock with all that major news ahead. It's been a fairly slow night tonight. I'll see you guys soon. Cheers.